So as a follower of Jesus, what should we do with people who look like they are following Jesus but are not truly following Jesus? Jesus spoke in parables so many times, and one of the parables that he mentioned was the parable of the wheat and the weed. So here's the story. There was a man that sowed good seed in his field. And while he was asleep, an enemy came and sowed weed among his field. And then some time passed and the crops grew. And the servants came to him and said, "Hey, what's going on? We are seeing some weed among the wheat." And he told them, an enemy came and did that. So they were like, "Okay, would you like us to go and remove all the weeds?" And he was like, No, don't do that. Because if you try to remove the weeds right now, you might accidentally damage the wheat or remove them completely. You know what's really interesting? The word Jesus used for weeds is tares. There are so many types of weeds, and tares is one of those weeds, but they look almost identical to wheat. Yes, we will know people by their fruits. Yes, we are supposed to exercise wisdom and discernment. But guys, we can never always 100% know if someone is a follower of Jesus or not. That person you think might be an imposter might just be a new believer, someone who just started walking with Jesus, or someone who has a struggle at the moment. The list goes on, and that's why Jesus in the parable was actually the man in the story said no to the servants. Don't touch the wheat. Because if you're trying to pluck out the weeds, the weeds, you will accidentally damage the weeds or pluck them completely, which means in our pursuit to correct people that are not there yet, in our pursuit to figure out who's a follower of Jesus and who's not, who's the imposter that looks like a follower and who's not, we could hurt people. We could literally damage their relationship with Jesus. We could repel them away from church, from the faith completely, because we don't know 100% the difference between someone who truly walks with Jesus and someone who's acting like they walk with Jesus and someone who's just struggling, but they're trying to walk with Jesus. Jesus is the one that knows the difference between weeds and wheat. And in the story, he says, don't do it. At some point, I will tell the reapers to separate the weed and the wheat, and the weeds will be burnt and the wheat will go into the barn. We need to expand the kingdom, teach what Jesus taught, love people, correct with love, but it's his job to know the difference between two different hearts. Jesus will be the one that separate his followers from the devil's followers. He will judge.